What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are a first timer, then welcome to the channel. Happy to have you guys here. This video today, we're going through the weekly swing watch list for this shortened week, February 21st. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't, you can do so below and click on that bell. That bell will send you the notifications for when I do go live in situations just like this. And I do put these weekly swings out for you guys every single week. We put out daily lists as well, daily watch lists for you guys every single day. So Amar says hello. We are live, so if you guys have questions, you can ask them, and I will answer them as we go through this. But again, I put these out for you guys for free every single day. So thank you for doing that. If you have questions, comments, leave them in the live chat. If you're watching this when it's not live, you can leave them in the comment section, or you can catch me over on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can DM me there, or you can ask me there as well, or check out the Discord, the Griswold Trading Discord. That link is not in the description below right now, but it will be. You can check out that Discord. Everything that I offer for you guys for free or fee-based is found in that Discord, and 95% of it is free for you guys. So there's a ton of rooms in there for free. There is a paid portion to become a Griswold Gold member. It's $50 a month, or you buy 2 months and you get the third month free, and you get a 1-hour strat course. You get one-on-ones with me. We can do it through Google Meets or Zoom or however you prefer. I usually go on every single day to discuss things with you, usually about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's 10, 11, 12 Eastern. So right around lunch, I'm usually on there to discuss things with you guys. There is live trading bots in the private Discord. There's the top 5s from these videos that I give out. So out of this list here, I give out the top 5 for you guys to check out or to watch off. And those are the top 5 plays that I think will do best on that day or on that week. There's also, what am I trying to say here? The indicator that I've created for you guys. So it includes things like this time frame continuity. It includes the candlestick numbers. It paints the inside bars yellow, the outside bars white. It's got Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule as part of it. Everything that is Strat related is in that indicator. And you can get all this stuff separately, guys. I'll do one-on-ones with you. You can get the indicator separately. You can get the trading bots separately. I do have a book coming out as well on trading psychology. I'm just waiting for final edits and some drafts to be completed with that. But there is lots of stuff coming. I've got a new website coming as well. But let's get started on this list. I will tell you guys one other thing. This screen that you see here, this is TradingView. This is what I use to chart everything that I look at. And if you've never used TradingView before, or you're looking for a platform like this, there will be a link in the description below, and it'll give you a free 30-day trial. So probably about 30 minutes after we're done here, or almost any of my other videos, that link is in there. But it gets you a free 30-day trial to TradingView, and then if you decide to actually use their subscription service, you get up to $30 off of that subscription. But let's get started on this weekly list, and we're going to start with American Airlines. And this should actually have, oh, we're on the 5, that's why. So if we go to the weekly chart, there we go. And there are a lot of really fantastic double inside bar setups on this. So we can watch for those as well, but we will get to them when we get to them as we come through here. Amar, so just before I go through here, Amar said, do you look for the Greeks when trading strats? So on the swings, yes, I would probably look at that, but most of my stuff is day trading, so I don't look at the Greeks because I'm only in a trade for 3 minutes to an hour, and if I spent all my time looking at option chains trying to find which option to buy, I would likely never get into my trade. So I'm buying market, I'm selling market. You can go, I give that information on the daily videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but yes, for the weekly swings, I would look at those, yeah. And Addicts Trades is actually really good at swing trades as well. But let's go through these setups here. Inside bar and American Airlines. So an inside bar, guys, you notice it's painted yellow, and it's got this 1 here. So those are both part of the indicator that I created, as is the time frame. But an inside bar is an actionable signal when we're discussing the strat. So there are 3 types of actionable signals, and you learn about this stuff all in my course. Okay, so there is the inside bar, there is the hammer candle, and the shooter candle. So the hammer candle would have a big body up here and a wick 2 times the length, or at least 2 times the length or more of that body, or you'd have a shooter candle similar to this one, where you have this body here and the wick to the top is 2 times the length of the body. So here we've got a shooter candle, we've got a inside bar, so we can play this either way. So when I talk to people who are new to trading, I always tell them to concentrate on the inside bars. So when we do this, I don't have targets on here because I don't put targets on the weeklies. I only do them on the daily charts. But in saying that, if we trigger to the upside, we can take calls at 1685. And our first targets, same thing as we do on a day trade or any other trade. The targets go to the top of the wick, or in this case, the bottom of the wick, but we are very close. So the low of this red candle was 1614, and this one is 1650. So it's only a penny, so I would use this down here as my next target to the downside. And you notice here we are also in the top of a broadening formation. Okay, so I would also look for that to potentially trend down. So you see we had highs to the lows to the highs to the lows. We came back up. This could have been a broadening formation within a broadening formation right here. And when you see them, you just see them, right? Lows to the highs to the lows. And then we tag the top of this one. So we have the potential to break back through the top of this or to start trending back down on American Airlines. But that's the setup off of that inside bar. So we'll move over to AMC. I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. So AMC has a setup. So you see these little blue flags here. That means that it's also on the daily chart. And it's on the daily video that I would have gone through with you guys. So we had a 2 down that finished green on AMC. So we're going to look for this to trend back up. Anytime we have a 2 down that finishes green, I call that a failed 2. And it's green, it gives me a higher probability that we are going to trend back to the upside. Does it mean that we are? No, it doesn't. But every strategy that you guys are looking at, every trade that you're looking at, should be and is based off of probabilities. And this one saying we are probably going to trend up based on the 2 down green. But that's not always the case. We might trend up and then reverse. And then how are you managing your risk? And that's how you know that a trader is really, really good, is he manages his risk really well. And all the really, really good traders manage their risk really, really well. And that's what's going to make you become a great trader, is managing your risk. Because your job as a trader is to manage your capital and preserve your capital. And in order to do that, you really need to manage your risk better than anybody else. Black BD100 just said, can you use the candle body for entry instead of the wick? No, you don't use the body. Using the body would be front running. Okay, so you use the wicks. You use the break of that candle, and whether you're looking on a weekly chart or a daily chart, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, you take the break of the wick, not the body. We'll move on to BA. So BA it's the opposite of what we just looked at. It's a 2-up red. And there is conflict on BA because we are looking to trigger up on the day. So we'll see which one overtakes, if we're going to move up on the daily or if we trend down and we're going to break the weekly. So a 2-up red, failed 2 again. We're going to look for puts at 207.62. We move on to BIDU. There's that inside bar that we talked about. So on these inside bar, guys, and I didn't talk about it, but an inside bar is basically a consolidation candle. It doesn't break the high, and it doesn't break the low right here of the previous candle. It stays within the range. It's a tightening range. And when you see these yellow candles with the indicator, I want you guys to think of a spring being tightened, compacted, loaded, squished down, squeezed, almost like a jack-in-the-box. And when you release that pressure off of that spring, you're expecting a jump, just exactly like you would see here. This is what we expect off of those inside bars. To break the trigger, hit targets, and continue to go. This is what we look for off those inside bars. That's probability. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, but probability tells us more often than not, this is what we get off of the breaks of those inside bars, because it is consolidating, it is tightening, and it doesn't know which direction it's going to go, and it's looking for a breakout. And so that's what we look for off of those inside bars. Now, if we have an inside bar, we have a shooter candle, we can look for calls here at 155, or we can take the puts at 140.01. And again, the targets just go to the tops and the bottoms of the wicks. We move on to beyond. Beyond, the same thing. Inside bar, we also have a play on the daily on beyond. So we're looking for it to trend to the upside. That's that yellow line are my triggers for the daily, and the green are obviously the targets. So again, if we trigger up on the day, then we're also likely going to trigger up on the week. We have full time frame continuity on beyond. So calls at 17.99, puts at 15.35. Cat. So cat is something normally when I'm taking day trades, I'm buying market and I'm selling market. Now, that's because I'm trying to get into the trade and I'm trying to get out of the trade really fast. When we're swing trading, we have a little bit more time, and I'm not taking expiry as this Friday on these. I would take at least 2 weeks out on these. So I wouldn't be getting this Friday, I'd be getting the following Friday. That's how I would set them up. You can get longer if you want, but I would get at least 2 weeks on these swing trades. So a 2 down green on cat. Cat usually has a wider spread between the bid and the ask. So in order for us to hit our targets, we've got more room here than we would on a day trade, or more time for it to get to those targets. So I would be okay with you trying to get in on a limit order or fill a limit order. And then even if you wanted to sell on a limit order, just because, again, it's not moving as fast as it would if you were getting a 0 DTE, a 0 days to expiry, because you do have that time on your side. So it's not going to move quite as fast. So cat, not something I would put on the daily, again, because that spread between the bid and the ask is so wide. But on a weekly swing, it's something I would look at and trying to get a limit order filled. So cat calls 250.86, first target at the top of that inside bar. CCL, that's Carnival Cruise Line. So inside bar, shooter candle. So calls at 12.21 or puts at 11.13 on CCL. And if you guys have questions on these, I know there's some people in the room here right now. We've only got 10, and I'm okay with that. I'm glad you guys are here. But if you need help with any particular thing as we go through, just make sure you're asking. But again, that inside bar. And there's a lot of inside bars, and there's a few of these. So these are what I really want to show you guys. So double inside bars. And basically how I try to describe this is it's an inverse broadening formation, okay? And this is basically what we've got. So we've got a tightening range for 2 straight days, consolidating for 2 straight days. And we're looking to break out of this little flag here, okay? And I don't really like to use that terminology when we're talking about the strat, but it's consolidating and it's getting tighter, 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 and we're looking to break out of that. Now, we do have this time frame continuity to the downside, but I will remind you that when we open Tuesday, the hourly, the daily, and the weekly are all brand new candles. So this very well could all be green when we open up on Tuesday morning, or it very well could be all red, depending on which way we trend. But when we have 2 days of consolidation, and essentially here's the thing, guys, we are really still only looking at this inside bar, but these double inside bars are very, very rare. They don't happen very often. And I have these highlighted blue. That's part of the indicator that I created as well. And we can go back in time and I can show you guys. They don't happen very often, but they have the potential to have really, really big moves. So here's one right here, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what we looked for off of those double inside bars. Okay, so that blue line, inside bar, we triggered and we hit multiple targets. 1, 2, 3 targets, 4 targets. This was a fantastic trade on Chewy. And again, that's what we look for. Those are the good plays off of those double inside bars. And again, they do not always happen. They don't always happen that way. But we're going to look for it here on this double inside bar on Chewy. And I usually tell you guys for the top 5s, if there's a double inside bar, they will be on there. If SPY has a setup, it will be on there. So double inside bar on Chewy, calls at 49.54, puts at 44.51. We move on to CVS. So this is another one that is very rare. It doesn't happen very often. It's the 3-1 setups. And I highlight these with the indicator in gold. So again, we go back in time just to check. the last time we had a 3-1 setup. Okay, and again, these are very rare as well. This one was all the way back in November of 2020. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. And gals, if you're on there. This is what I'm talking about. We have this outside bar and this inside bar. And we break this trigger, and boom, we're gone. Fantastic swing play on CVS. And again, we look for the same thing on this 3-1 setup. We're going to look for the exact same thing because probability tells us that's where the potential is, and that's what the potential is. Okay? So if we trend down, we've got full time frame outside of the month. This is our yearly trigger to go 2 down. We've already broke it. Okay, so we're already 2 down on the year. We're going to look for calls at 90.58, puts at 87.35. This one would give you more potential because this first target is not great. This one has some real nice magnitude to it, and we're already 2 down on the year. Okay, so that would be a nice setup for you guys. D-Dog, 2 up red, shooter candle. We'll look for puts at 79 bucks even. And the numbers I'm calling out, guys, are right here. Anytime I call out a number, they're on the right side right here. So 2 down green for Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is another one of those ones I won't give you on a daily setup because the spreads are too large. Okay, so normally on a day trade, I'm looking for pennies difference. Okay, so a couple cents, less than 5% difference between the bid and the ask. Dollar Tree usually has bigger spreads, but I'm okay with you guys getting into this trade on a limit order. Okay, even the limit order will allow you to jump into the trade without having that spread already be in effect. So a bid would be $1, let's say. The ask on Dollar Tree would be $1.20. If you're not getting the ask, you're already 20% down. Okay, so that's why on day trades I like those spreads tight because I'm always buying the ask. Okay, but that is how we deal with that. So Dollar Tree, hammer candle. We'll look for calls at 149.18 on Dollar Tree. EW. So this is what you would call a Rev Strat. So an inside bar, 2 down, finish green, hammer candle. And we're going to look to trend back to the upside. Real good magnitude up there to 81.05 on that hammer candle. But a Rev Strat is basically just a 1-2-2 reversal. It's still a 2-2 reversal that we're looking for. It just has a 1 preceding it. Ford Motor Company with the inside bar. There's also an inside bar on the daily. I know this because I have this yellow circle here on the daily, okay, on my time frame indicator. I also know this because I've marked it out with these 2 yellow lines on my daily chart. So again, we're looking to break out of the inside bar on the daily. We're looking to break outside of the inside bar on the weekly. So a lot of times it's a domino effect. So, you know, the hourly, if we go down to the hourly, what's on the hourly or the 4-hour? So the hourly would just be a continuation up or a 2-2 reversal to the downside. Same thing with a 4-hour. So the 4-hour, again, we're looking to break out of the, if we drew lines on the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour triggers the daily, triggers the weekly. Okay, that's how it works. It's a complete domino effect. We'll move on to Fubo. Fubo with the 2 down green. We'll look for calls there at 251 on Fubo. GS is Goldman Sachs inside bar. We also have a setup on the daily here where we're looking to go 2 up. So we'll see how this inside bar shooter candle, if that takes force to the downside or if we're going to go up on the daily on Tuesday for Goldman Sachs. Home Depot, another one of those setups like Dollar Tree that I talked about. Visa and MasterCard are both the same. Lowe's is the same, but an inside bar, calls at 323.74, puts at 312.95. IBM, 2 up red. We're going to look to trend down. We also have this yellow line here on the daily. That's to go 2 down on the day. Is it 2 up on the day? I just don't have the target marked out. So conflict again, and we run into this sometimes where we have daily triggers that are looking to go up. We have weekly triggers that are looking to go down. We see which one goes in force. Are we going with the weekly to the downside, or are we going to take it up on the day on Tuesday? We'll see with IBM, but on the weekly setup, if we trigger to the downside, we're looking for puts at a 133.89 trigger. And again, to go into this, you're getting at least 2 weeks out. If you're looking for a strike price, and we're here at 133.89, you'd be looking at like a 133, 132, 131, somewhere in that range for this. Now, 131 is probably not something I would go to because we are down in this range here at 131. So for me, it would be a 133, 132 strike price is what I would be looking for on that. INTC inside bar shooter candle puts at 27.38, calls at 28.88 off of that inside bar. And I'm just going to go back to this again because this is the inside bar. And again, we gapped up, but this ran for 2 days. 2 weeks, sorry. 2 straight weeks this thing ran up for. So again, this would have been a fantastic trade on INTC for you guys. IWM, there's that double inside bar, that inverse broadening formation, that tightening range. We've got full time frame continuity. We've got a setup on the daily to go 2 up. So if we go 2 up on the day, we're likely going 2 up on the week. So that's the double inside bar on IWM. Calls at 194.87, puts at 189.31. And I think we have one other setup very similar to that. Again, here's another one, double setup. So on the daily, we can look for triggers on the day to go 2 up. We're also looking to break out of this inside bar on the weekly. Calls at 143.89, puts at 140.07. Time frame continuity pointing all to the upside, and we'll see if we continue to trend that way. Same thing on Lucid. Okay, so looking to go 2 up on the day. We're also looking to go 2 up on the week. So the first target for the day is likely the trigger for the week, and there it is. There's our daily trigger. There's our first target, which is also the trigger for the weekly. So you could turn this day trade into a swing trade possibly and hold it longer because Lucid contracts will expire on Friday, and you would just hold it till, not necessarily hold it till Friday, but you have that opportunity on the weekly chart to see if Lucid can run a little bit more than just what the day gives it. Okay, so calls at 11.27 on LCID. Lows, another one of those ones I talked about. Okay, double inside bar, calls at 216.07, puts at 207.43. The last time we had one, double inside bar on lows, way back, February 20th, 2018. So we're looking at 5 years ago, almost to the day. And the last time, did I go too high? Yeah, lows is never up at 600. There's that double inside bar, and again, here's that little fake out, okay? We gapped up, okay? There's that gap right there, and then we trended all the way back down. So again, this would have been you could have used a Strat Sniper 50% rule on this as we come back through 50% of this inside bar, but this is something that doesn't work out in our favor, and it's probability, guys. Should it have worked out? Yes, but it doesn't always, and the better you are at managing that, the better you will become as a trader. So we will look for lows to break out of that double inside bar on Tuesday. Lift, 2 down green. We can look for the calls at 11.76. And again, we have that daily setup as well to go 2 up on the day. Macy's, inside bar, calls at 22.86, puts at 21.81. Inside bar on Microsoft. So again, calls 274.97, puts 256. NVIDIA, 2 up red. Call that a shooter candle, and we can look for puts at 209.62. And the other thing that this looks very familiar, I have people ask me this all the time. Pivot machine gun, okay? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and another higher low with this reversal. So basically what a pivot machine gun is when this candle opens, we're going to look for it to break down from this trigger and break targets. Pop, 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 pop. Now, does it come down all the way to 147 in the week? Likely not, but we might hit a couple of these on the way down. And that's basically what a pivot machine gun is. And we can look for that on NVIDIA next week and in the week following. Oracle, inside bar, we've already gone 2 up on the year. That's what that orange line is. I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see this a little bit more clear. Inside bar, so calls at 89.45, puts at 86.51. Procter & Gamble, inside bar hammer candle, calls at 140.45, puts at 136.55. QQQ, double inside bar on the Qs, okay? top of a broadening formation. If we go back, here we go. Okay, highs to lows, back to highs. And where are we coming through this? Where are we going? Are we headed back up or are we headed back down? If we can go back in time and look at the last time we had a double inside bar on the Qs. There it was. Okay, back in December of 21. And we triggered. Actually, we gapped down and then came back up. So, again, we gapped. There wasn't a play there. And you have to look at something else. So, double inside bar on the Qs. Calls at 309.27. Puts at 298.10. And notice the time frame here, guys. Right here. Full time frame to the upside. There's buyers right across the board. Starbucks, 2 up, finished red. So we're going to look for puts at 106.23. Looks like there could be is there conflict on the day? There is. So daily's going up, weekly's looking to come down. 122 Rev Strat, inside bar, 2 up, 2 down, reversal. Space, inside, is it an inside bar? It's a 2 down green. Full time frame continuity, calls at $6.42 on space. XOM, there's that inside bar on XOM. Looking to see what we're going to do off of that broadening formation. Are we just going to keep bouncing off it as resistance? Or are we going to break down to the downside? Calls at 118.18, puts at 110.98. That's the list, guys. So if you guys have questions now, please ask them. There is a few of you in the room. I'll give you a couple minutes here or a couple seconds to type in some questions if you have them. Again, if you guys are new to this, make sure you're subscribed down below. Click the bell. The bell will send you the notifications for when I am jumping in on these live or when I do send out a new video. I've got a ton of learning tools out there for you guys, a ton of watch lists, a ton of playlists. There's a beginner's learning tools. There's a learning tools. There's a SPY series that I go through, how to trade without indicators. I try and break down everything as simple and as easy as I can for you guys to learn this stuff because it really is the easiest way to trade, I believe anyways, in the market. So again, it doesn't look like there's any questions coming in, but if you guys are watching this after the live session, leave your questions in the comment section. Leave them on Twitter. Leave them in the Discord. Join that Discord. Get in and start talking with us and talking about trading there. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you nothing but the best this week. I hope you guys had a fantastic long weekend. If you had a long weekend, I hope you enjoyed it and are ready for another week of trading. Good luck. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you green, and we will see you guys all on the next one.